So this video is about the scissor lift 6,000 pounds from Titan. The lift was delivered around 2 weeks ago, and I have no issues with the delivery. Nothing was majorly broken or damaged. The power unit was intact. Connections, everything else, parts were included on the box. And the lift itself. So, like I said, no complications with the delivery, and the freight company who delivered the lift from Titan, the technician helped me set the lift on my garage. I already have a diagram with the distribution of the dimensions on the lift, the width, the height, and the distribution, because it's a very heavy lift. It's around 650 pounds. So I wanted to maximize the lifting forks they brought with the delivery truck, because once they put it down, it's not going to be easy to move around. So yes, you can use the dolly that comes with the unit to move it a little bit. But it's not as easy, because on my situation, I don't have much space on that in front of the vehicle, so I don't have much lever to play around with the lift. So I'm gonna take you through the installation process, which was very simple. It took me around probably 2 hours to pull out the pieces and put them together. And like I said, I didn't have any issues with the parts. But the only issues that I have were mainly related to connectors. The first issue I'm going to show you right here was related to a leak on the hose that pulls out the hydraulic fluid from the tank and brings it to the hydraulic lifters. So initially I was having a leak right here and another leak right here. I noticed, and I came to find out, that the leak that I was having around here on this elbow was because I was missing an O-ring on this connection. And the second issue that I have was right here on this bolt that connects into the power unit. And if you read the setup instructions, it says not to put too much pressure when you're torquing this into the unit, and that's exactly what I did. And then what happens is that I end up bending up the ring, and so hydraulic fluid was finding a way through that little hole to come out. So I called the technicians at Titan, and they were very nice to explain what happened. I replaced the O-ring, I replaced this ring as well, and they also recommend to use the masking plumbing tape on the connection, just to make sure everything is nice, tight, and there's no further leaks. So I did follow their recommendations, and after doing that, the problem with the leak right here from the hose into the power unit was fixed. Then I started lifting the vehicle, and then I noticed there was a leak right here on the release valve. So this is the release valve, and when you press down the release valve, you see this little black button here. It releases the pressure on the hydraulic lifters, and then the hydraulic fluid comes back into the container. So I was noticing a continuous drip of hydraulic fluid right here. It was not significant, but when you're talking about lifting like 6,000-7,000 pounds or 5,000 pounds, you want to make sure things are working properly. You don't want anything not to be working according to the instructions, just for safety reasons. So I called Titan, and then they recommended 2 steps. The first step was to tighten up this bolt right here. So I proceeded to tie this bolt as much as I could. I raised the lift, but I was continuing seeing a drip of hydraulic fluid coming through this little button between here and this ring. So the technician told me the next thing to do would be to release this bolt right here, release it completely. When you pull out this bolt, then you can pull out the release handle. You can pull it out and put it on the side. And behind this hole, behind this bolt and the release handle, there is another bolt behind it. So it was recommended that I should tie that bolt as much as I could, which I did. So I tied that up as much as I could, put the whole thing together, put the release handle, and then the bolt. Everything was tied up as much as I could, but I was still seeing a little continuous, like a drop by drop coming through here, especially when I lift the vehicle. So I reported that to the technician, and then he said that the problem was the release valve, which is this one right here. And so they sent me a new piece. It took probably around like 2 days after I made the phone call. I removed the bolt, removed the release handle, then pull out the release valve, put the new one in, put everything together, and the problem was fixed. So after that, everything is fine. I have no more issues, no more complications with the unit. So I just have to let you know, I'm going to show you when I raise the lift. The connections to the lift are done by the company, so that's actually pretty good, because those connections that go into the hydraulic lifters, you don't have to mess with. They already come done by the company, and so everything is tight and is very tight and secure. You don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to be showing you how to operate the lift, so you have a better understanding, in case you buy the same lift. I hope this video can help you save some time reading through instructions and just show you how to operate it. Just so you know, the hydraulic fluid that I use, and which is also recommended on the manual, is I use this AW ISO 32 hydraulic oil. You can buy it on Home Depot or Lowe's, and they recommend like 3 or 4 different brands on the manual. So this one was probably around $12 for each bottle, and it uses 2.5 gallons. I bought 3. I actually bought 4, and then I returned 1. But it uses only 2.5. So the next thing that I want you to be aware is the height of the lift. Without the lifting plates, just the height of the lift is 21 inches. So if you have an SUV or a height that is off-road, then you should be all right. But for me, on my situation, I'm working on this Porsche, like 928, 1978, and it's not really, the height is not really that much. So I did also bought some pieces of wood and created a mini ramp, which I don't think at this point this is still enough. So I'm going to have to leave the vehicle and work on those ramps. I'm going to be working on those ramps to increase the height probably another 4 inches. And the reason why is because you want to really be safe. You don't want to drive your vehicle and scratch pieces of the vehicle off. This is a very sturdy material on this lift, and it can break your vehicle easily. But most importantly, the hydraulic lifters, you don't want to hit those. You don't want to create a hole on those. I'm going to be lifting the vehicle and showing you how the hydraulic lifters work. But for safety reasons, you want to be off those lifters. You don't want to hit them or damage them, because that's the main unit on the lift, and it's also for safety purposes. You don't want those lifts to fail when you're working under the car. So for those 2 reasons, it's very important to make sure that the height of the car is checked before you drive your car into the lift. Also, if you see the pieces of wood that I put on the floor, before I even put my vehicle in, I measure everything so I know where my lifting points are, because you want to make sure that the weight of the vehicle is equally distributed. You have to distribute the weight evenly on all 4 points of the lift to make sure that the vehicle is not going to be probably losing balance when you're walking under it, probably moving things around. So make sure you spend significant time and play safe. What else do I need to add to this? Yes, I did use extensions, as you can see, for my lifting plates, because it gives me more space to work under the vehicle. I'm going to be showing you the other pieces that comes with the lift. There are also lifting plates that are a little less. This one is probably like, I believe it's like 6 inches, but there are also like lifting plates are like 3 inches, which are very tight. But this one is very nice because it gives me the space to work, put my hands and to work around the, the parts of the vehicle. So let me take you on. Just to mention, this unit is 110 volts, so this is great because when I was looking into lifts, they have many units that are 220 volts. So this one just plugs right into the wall. You don't have to worry about like converting or buying special equipment to change the current. So it's pretty easy to use. To lift the vehicle, you have 3 components. Or to operate the lift, to better put it. To operate the lift, you have 3 components. The first component is the green button, which is the one that you press when you're going to raise the vehicle. And you have to keep in mind, this lift comes with 7 locking positions. And basically, what that means is you can stop. When you hear the click, that's one lifting level. And then you hear another click, that's another lifting level. And it goes on and on up to 7. So it depends on what kind of job you're going to be performing in your vehicle. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that. Then you have the brake release. You press the brake release when you want to lower the vehicle. And then the release handle, which is going to release the hydraulic fluid that is compressed into the hydraulic lifters. Then here you have the dolly, and the dolly has a little spike that hooks into the lift itself, and you can actually use that to move the lift around if you change the position or move it around. So it really works well, very easy to move. I mean, not that easy, but you can easily move the lift. But on my case, because I have little space in front of the lift, then it's a little bit challenging. But if you have more space or a bigger garage, it's very easy to move your lift around. Okay, so let me show you how to lift the vehicle. So the first thing you do is you come to the power unit, and then you hit the green button, and the hydraulic compressor is going to start sending hydraulic fluid into the hydraulic lifters. It's going to raise the vehicle. That's one level. 2. 3. Every time it clicks, it engages the brake on that level. So that's 4, and you see how it engages on that level. So it's going to continue doing that. 5. 6, and one more to 7, and release the green button. 7, release, and then press the release handle to lock the bar on the 7 level. You see how it engaged on the 7 level, and that's for safety reasons. So as you read through the manual, you're going to find out that you can support the weight of the vehicle only with the hydraulic lifters, but only temporarily. You really want to make sure you rest the weight of the vehicle right here with this brake. Because if you forget to do this, you're going to be holding the weight of the vehicle on the hydraulic lifters. And then they're going to, sooner or later, they're going to give up. And that's not safe. So that's why you have this bar, which is made of, I believe, very strong stainless steel material. You have the brake, and this is the brake release, and then you have the handle on the unit. But do make sure that you have this engaged before you do any kind of work on your vehicle. It has to be engaged. If it's not working, or if you don't see or hear the click, then do not get under the vehicle under any circumstances. Let me step out for a little bit so you can appreciate the height on the lift. So this is the maximum position. It's at 7 level. This is the 7 level, and this is going to be pretty good for me because I'm going to be working on the suspension. I'm going to start with the front suspension on this vehicle, and then after that I'm going to be working on the rear suspension. I'm 5'10" and a half, and my head technically is right here and on top of the wheel. So it's a pretty good height for a lift to have on your garage. It gives you plenty of room to work on different parts of the vehicle. I'm going to move here so you can appreciate the different angle. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you how to lower your lift. And by the way, I have to say that the people of Titan are very efficient. They're great. I bought the lift. Every time I called to report an issue, there was always somebody on the line to give me advice. Always cordial and ready to help you out. And when I needed the parts, they, no questions asked, they just send them to me. I mean, they're great. Customer service, I give it 100%. I will definitely continue doing business with them if I ever need another lift. Let me show you how to lower this lift. So, if you want to lower the lift, the first thing you do to disengage that brake on the 7 level, you have to raise the vehicle a little bit again. So the first step, raise a little bit to disengage that brake, that brake hook that is on the bar, and then that's when you hit the release handle. And then you use the release valve. So the sequence to lower the vehicle is raise a little bit, release handle, the brake release handle, and then the release handle. So this is the release handle for the hydraulic fluid on the hydraulic lifters. So 1, 2, and 3. And then you hold this and this one together. Let's do it. So let's show you how this is done. You lift a little bit, and then brake and release handle. You hold the brake because you don't want to, unless you want to engage the vehicle on a different level, you hold the brake up. And then the release handle, and the vehicle is lowering right there. I always stop a little bit before the vehicle hits the ground, just to make it a little more gentle on the shocks, springs. There you go. And then a little right there. There is a mark right here. It's not really visible, so I did put my own mark. But this is the maximum amount of hydraulic fluid that you can put into the container. So I'm going to be posting more videos about how I'm going to be finishing the project with the ramps, just to give you an idea, you know, how you can also do your own project. Thanks for watching.